Real quick, before I kick this video off better than Savic kicked Foden, I want to shout out a huge thank you to all of the love on the vid yesterday. It's easily the most viewed so far on the channel, and I got so many kind comments, it was honestly a bit overwhelming. So thank you to everyone who loved that video, and by popular demand, this one's for you. So as everyone here probably knows, we did a frame-by-frame analysis of the fight between Atleti and City yesterday. And so by popular request, naturally we are going to be doing a similar analysis of the bust-up that occurred later down the tunnel. Now, the footage gets underway with the continuation of the previous storylines surrounding the conflict between Savic and Grealish, with only a few minor changes to the plot. Firstly, John Stones seems to have had enough of his peacekeeper role and looks to be pretty exhausted from trying to keep everyone from killing each other. So he taps out of this round pretty early and heads straight to the locker room. However, in his place, Ruben Dias steps up and he tries to keep at least one body between Savic and Grealish at all times. Whether you like him or not, you have to admit that Pep Guardiola has an excellent eye for finding these supporting center backs. Excellent chemistry here as one knows to step up as the other is stepping back, with both capable of stepping into the midfield at any time and also backing up their forwards when they get involved in altercations with opposing players that they could probably never win on their own. Now, I think it's a decent time to revisit the previous video where I thought Grealish had said, "You know you are gonna lose." But after handing the footage over to some of our British lip-reading experts here at the Football Moments YouTube channel, it has become largely accepted amongst the scientific community that he did indeed say, "You're a cunt." So I think it's safe to assume that this verbal altercation in the tunnel involved a very similar degree of derogatory animosity exchanged between these two players. However, this anime arc of the City-Atleti conflict is not centered around Grealish and Savic. They are just filler here. The main character of this chapter is Sime Vrsaljko. Coming down the tunnel, it seems like none of the City players were really acting too hostile. I mean, they just qualified for the semi-finals. There isn't really any reason to go and get suspended at this point. However, my father always told me, the thing that you should be afraid of most in this world is someone who has nothing to lose. And with Atleti already being yeeted out of the competition, Vrsaljko fits the bill. Farther down the tunnel, he throws what looks like goalkeeping gloves at the City players. And if you ever played keeper or knew someone who did, then you know that by the smell of those things alone, this act could easily be considered biological warfare. Especially if they didn't wash them for a while or something, my god. But otherwise, this, in my opinion, is a pretty poor attempt at causing someone physical harm. I would recommend next time to throw maybe a cleat or a water bottle, perhaps even opening the water bottle a little bit before throwing it in order to get the City players wet. But that's just me, that's how I roll, that's my style. If he's comfortable with this throwing of the glove tactic, then who am I to criticize his approach? He's the professional here. However, who we can only assume is the City goalkeeping coach made an excellent save here, stopping the projectile gloves from going any farther and helping demonstrate how Ederson became one of the best goalkeepers in the world. I mean, with talented staff like this, anyone could. As they keep coming down the tunnel here, the coaching staff of Atleti do a pretty good job holding Vrsaljko back. Maybe too good of a job, as when he realizes he won't be able to reach the City players, he instead tries to use this forbidden secret airbender technique to whoosh some animosity towards the City players. Now, it's possible that he may have actually hawked a loogie and spit at the City players here, but I don't want to be the one to accuse him of that without too much evidence. So we will have to wait and let you guys know what the results are from the Football Moments YouTube channel forensic analysis after it's done. The most hostile City player in this situation seems to be Kyle Walker, who went off injured in the second half. However, he seems less like he actually wants to throw hands, and more like he is relying on Ederson to keep him from getting to Vrsaljko to actually throw said hands. Honestly, Ederson in this situation just proves that he is one of the best goalkeepers in the world, using brilliant technique to hold the conflict exactly where it is, instead of letting things bounce around for a potential rebound. And just like with his world-class sweeper keeper skills, The secret is to be on your toes, far up, and ready to come be involved with the play at a moment's notice. I mean, the technique when holding Walker back is excellent, don't get me wrong, but the intelligence, awareness, and speed of which he reads the situation to get himself in the proper position here is something special. Nothing short of elite. Yannick Carrasco's body language throughout this whole saga just cracks me up. To me, he looks like a guy that went out together with his friends, but is trying to embarrassingly separate himself from them as they start fighting the bouncer because they can't get into the club. Like, he wants nothing to do with any of this. Real quick, special shout out to this guy who not only made sure to play a slight peacekeeper role, making sure that the conflict didn't get too out of hand, but also appears to be laughing as Vrsaljko loses his mind. Good for him, man. Good for him. So, what did we learn from this arc of the City Atleti conflict? We learned that Ederson is an elite stopper in many aspects of his game. Jack Grealish is a ridiculously talented shithouser on and off the pitch. And Vrsaljko's spirit animal is almost certainly the llama. Thank you guys so much for watching the video today, and if you made it this far, then you probably liked it, right? So I'd recommend that you not only like the video, but also hit subscribe so that you don't miss any other funny ones in the future. I make football videos every single day, so obviously you like football content, so what are you waiting for? Subscribe. Also, I'm on Twitter, and nobody follows me, and it's kind of embarrassing, even though I think my tweets are pretty funny. So if you guys are on Twitter at all, then I'd appreciate it if you give me a follow there as well. Thank you. I hope you guys have a good rest of your day today, and peace out. Take it easy.